Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Canisius College EduFair 2022 University presentation. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is John, and I will be moderating this session. Without further ado, let's head straight to the presentation from the University of Campus, Spain, which will be presented by our guest speaker, Mr. Isaac. So, Mr. Isaac, the stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Selamat sore, everyone. I am Mr. Isaac. I am a country representative of Campus Spain here in Indonesia. I'm permanently based here in Jakarta. Okay, so if you later on have some further doubts or you need anything, you just feel free to drop me a WhatsApp as I'm here every day so we can meet. Without further delay, we are going to start with the presentation. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's go ahead. As we have limited time today, I will go quite fast on the presentation because I want to leave some room for the Q&A time. I'm sure you're going to have plenty of questions about studying in Spain, so let's go to do that. Normally, I start the presentation asking the students what they know about Spain, because I know Spain is quite a new destination for you to consider for your further studies, okay? And this is super fun part of our presentations, but as we don't have much time and no Q&A right now, I'm just going to drop you a little video. I think that's pretty nice introduction about what's Spain and where you would be studying. Very briefly, I would like to go to some figures about Spain, okay? Socially, Spain, of course, you know, it's a country that is in southwest part of Europe, among the safest country in the world, super tolerant with everyone. Students do not suffer any kind of discrimination by their gender, religion, or anything else. We play a huge role in World Heritage, okay? So you can visit plenty of different monuments on the history, okay? We have a super stable and solid democracy. And also we have a super good healthcare system, which provides us with one of the longest life expectancies in the world. We are there like fighting with the Japanese. They are also tough guys. About history, of course, we played an important role in history. We've been pretty good sailors. And then we also have some good inventions and discoveries during time. Talking briefly about the economics, of course, you're going to be studying in advanced economy in the European Union, number 3 in the European Union in terms of GDP, with very important sectors from all car manufacturing, infrastructure, railway, tourism, second most visited country in the world. And also we have a huge role in fashion business. Later we will talk about it. But for me, Spain overall is a country of feeling, okay? And I will explain you why. Talking about arts, we had plenty of good artists all around history. You can visit all these paintings and sculptures in the museums. Just for instance, here we have Pablo Picasso. For those of you that think Pablo Picasso is Italian, Pablo Picasso is not Italian. Pablo Picasso is from a town nearby Malaga in south of Spain. Sports, as you may know, we are quite competitive, I would say. It's for fun, but we are pretty good, and we've been winning plenty of disciplines: tennis, badminton, football, basketball, handball. Also, we play good in the Olympics, karate, climbing. And of course, we love races. We are pretty good also in them. We have here like a MotoGP champions and also Formula One. You can go to visit sometimes in Mandalika circuit here in Indonesia. Also in films and TV, time ago, Spain was most focused on supporting activities like filming, scripting, and so on. But since I would say like 5 years ago, Netflix started to push a little bit the industry. So we are already recording our own series there in Spain, and some of them had been quite successful in the media. Also, we have a kind of good actors for those of you interested in drama, studying drama. And plenty of famous series and films were recorded partially or totally in Spain. In this case, like Game of Thrones, you can visit plenty of the recording scenes of Game of Thrones in Spain. I don't know if you are a fan, but lovely experience indeed. Talking about architecture and places, you can visit plenty of different scenes, okay, since very ancient monuments up to modernistic, Romantic sculptures and so on. And also it's a very diverse country in terms of nature, okay, and geographically. In here, you can see like a Sierra Nevada, which is actually 2 hours far away from the beach by car, okay? So it's a country where you can experience going to ski and go to the beach at the same time. You have plenty of amazing islands, you have rainforest, and you have plenty of places to visit and sports and activities to do in those places. But for me, the key point of Spain is the people, okay? That's what I always tell the students. We have our own kind of traditional events, okay? It's pretty fun. This is Carnival here, is not Rio de Janeiro. This is Gran Canaria Islands. We do plenty of things which sometimes looks a little bit silly from the outside, but it's plenty funny, like throwing tomatoes to each other, playing water balloons, have our kind of own dancing, and people love it. But overall, and that's what I focus mostly to the students, are going to feel at home, okay? We are quite similar to Indonesians. We love to hang around with our friends, with our family. We really love to be together with them. And overall, our work-life balance tends to be very good. Some couple of most famous brands here in Spain. Some of them you may not know that they are Spanish, like here, Chupa Chups or Balenciaga. Zara is a Spanish brand, is part of Inditex Group, which also owns Pull&Bear and Massimo Dutti, okay? And this is one of the biggest textile group in the world. Of course, we have very famous hotels, like luxury hotels, Yao Yao, and also New Energy and military groups, okay? So these, all these brands are potential employer of all our students, because our students have super amazing and international profile. Studying in Spain has a very long-lasting tradition. University in Spain, our first university was among the earliest in Europe, with University of Salamanca here in 13th century. So this was the very first branch of universities. After that, we opened other universities in all Latin America. And since 19th century, we are opening the new branch, the new generation of universities in all over Spain. So this is the result. Overall, we have 50 public universities all around the country. Every major city has one or multiple universities next to the city, okay, for the people to go. And we also have around 42 private universities around the country, okay? Private universities are mostly focused on big cities, okay? And mostly focused also in some majors that could be worthy for them to offer. When you're thinking about studying in Spain, you are not just going to study in Spain, you're going to study in the European Union, with all the benefits that implies, okay? What does it mean for the students? Okay, it means, first of all, that you're going to be living and having a visa in the Schengen area. So you are free and welcome to visit all these countries, okay, without prior visa requirements. So you're going to have your resident card, your resident permit, and you are free to move between all these countries, okay? Most of our students love it. They love to travel around Europe. And then we have Ryanair, which is kind of Lion Air European version. So you can find planes of Pull&Bear around 800,000 rupiah. So most of our students visit the capitals of Europe all around. Of course, you're going to be studying in the European higher education area, okay? And here I would focus most on the EU area, which is automatic recognition of diploma, super high standards of quality, and overall you are free to move in these countries even for the study with what we call ECTS, which is European Credit Transfer System. And part of this is Erasmus scholarship. Even international students are going to be able to enjoy Erasmus scholarship. Erasmus program is a program with the European Union aimed to foster European citizenship feeling. So meanwhile, you are enrolled in the university, you can apply for Erasmus scholarship, and you are going to be enjoying one semester or one full year in another university on the EU area. And even the European Commission is going to give you some scholarships, some pocket money, okay, depending on the country. But you can expect around 8 to 10 juta per month, depending on the country. And this is also applies for international students. So I encourage you very much to do Erasmus scholarships. Talking very briefly about the rankings, Spain is super good in all kinds of business, economic, and marketing related, especially in MBA. You're going to find among the top ones in Europe. All kind of engineering and computer science, also biochemistry and related. And of course, tourism and hospitality, if you want to go for that, is also very welcome. Feel free to check the rankings by subject, okay, in Q under 50. And then we arrive to the Spanish language, okay, which is a core role of studying in Spain, and Spanish is truly a global language. In here I have a little video for you to rest of my voice for a while. Sorry. So in short, okay, to short up what Spanish means, Spanish is second worldwide in terms of native speakers language in the world. It's spoken from all South to North America to some degree. It's the most studied language in the US. And of course, it plays a huge role in all kinds of international organizations like United Nations and plenty of others. But overall, what I will tell you is that Spanish is a super easy language to learn, especially for Indonesians. Our pronunciation is the same, okay? So you're not going to have trouble on that. Plus, we have plenty of words which are similar to Bahasa Indonesia, like camisa, zapato, bandera, bola, plenty of others. So Indonesian students are able to learn Spanish very, very fast. And of course, Spanish plays a huge role in the education system in Spain. It's obvious. There are available full English taught bachelors and any kind of majors, but in private universities, okay? Meanwhile, in Spanish public universities, public state universities, the Spanish government offers you a high scholarship, which at the end means that the students can be paying around 700 euros, 600 euros per year, which is 10 juta per year or less. This is kind of a map of the cost of university per region, because these scholarships I'm mentioning are depending every local government in Spain. So in this case here of Madrid and Barcelona, the fees are a little bit higher because they have a big demand of international students, okay? So the amount of subsidy they offer is less. But we have plenty of students studying here in Valencia, in Seville, in Granada, here in Vigo. We have some students in Madrid and Barcelona. That's totally up to you, okay? But this is kind of the disclosure of the fees. And then you wonder, okay, Isaac, so good, how to access university? So first of all, I have good news. A lot of people ask me about this on the chat of the booth. And I tell you, first of all, you don't need any kind of admission test. You don't need GMAT. You don't need IELTS, you don't need TOEFL. These tests are made to level your level of English, okay? And mostly applies to universities in America and the US and UK. But what you're going to need to get admission in public universities is a Spanish language certificate. Yes, and then we are going to need your diploma, your high school diploma, and the transcript of mark. And with those two things, we can process admission to the public universities in Spain. In the case of masters, if you want, it's kind of the same, but we just need your bachelor's diploma and transcript marks. And then you're wondering, okay, how to do this if I don't have idea of speaking Spanish, if I start from zero? So do not worry, because we already thought about all of these students. And then they are going to be learning Spanish in Spain. Okay, so we have a program for the students to learn Spanish in Spain, and meanwhile they learn Spanish, we process all the documents. This program is called Spanish LCA, which stands for Language, Culture, and Adaptation to University. So first, talking about the language, if you start from level 0, do not worry, because you're going to go through A1, A2, B1, B2. Okay, you're going to have class of Spanish every day in the university with PhD professor of Spanish. So it's the best way for you to learn Spanish. This is a full immersion program for you. And what I mentioned before, Spanish is not a difficult language to learn, and Indonesian students tend to nail it very fast. Also, culture, we believe is a very important role whenever you want to study abroad, to get used to the culture. You're going to go to a Western country and it's going to make you grow, but you have to get used to the country and the culture. Around 30% of the activities in the LCA are outside the classroom. So you are going to go to cooking class, we are going to take you to the beach, explore some islands, going to a football match and plenty of other. And then in those activities, you are going to be in touch with the culture and also with the language in a very natural way. And then adaptation to university. So once per week, you're going to meet the academic team, and the academic team is going to explain you what kind of exams are you going to be facing in the university, how to ask for tutorship with your teachers, what kind of assessments, teamwork, and overall also they're going to have one-on-one meetings with you in order to prepare for the admission to university for your desired majors, which is very important. Where do you study Spanish? Where do you are going to be? Okay, so you're going to be here in a city in northwest part of Spain. It's called Vigo. Why Vigo? Okay, Vigo is a medium city. It's a not hectic city like Madrid and Barcelona, and we believe is the perfect place for the students to start. So you learn Spanish there, you get used to the country, and after we finish with all the documents and you have the required level of Spanish, then you start university wherever you want. So this is kind of the roadmap to university. So you're going to be studying Spanish, and we are going to process all the documents in around 7 to 10 months, depending where you join. And then normal bachelor's degree is going to be 4 years. If you want to continue with master's degrees, it's going to be 1 or 2 years more. When you wonder about, is this expensive? Okay, this is the good part. It's true that first year you have to make a little big investment, okay, because we need to process all the documents and you need to learn Spanish, but this is kind of the commitment you need to take for the Spanish government to offer you the universities that we mentioned before, okay, the highly subsidized universities. So overall, if you go for the complete bachelor cycle, you're going to be paying around 35 juta per year, okay, which is, I believe, sometimes less than what you pay for universities here in Indonesia. Also about the cost of living, I have here good news. The biggest expense is going to be accommodation. But in medium cities, you're going to be paying per month, including all food, your daily expenses, and everything else around 500 euros, okay, which is 8 juta. And in bigger cities like Madrid and Barcelona, you can live with around 700 euros, which is 11 juta. I was in Madrid with 700 euros, so if I was there, I'm sure you can make it too. So in short, how does this work? Okay, so just before you arrive to Spain, we take care of all the students, we interview you individually, we get to know what you want to study. We make sure that we can offer you that you're going to get admission in the university. After that, we prepare everything with you, all the visa, all the documents, everything. Whenever you arrive, we take care of you, we pick you up in the airport, we give you a welcome pack, you're going to have your bank account, we work on your resident permit, everything, okay? You just have to worry to study during the first year, and meanwhile you are studying, we take care of all the legal documents in order to prepare admission for university. So this is a worry-less program for you and also for your families, which they are going to have 24/7 contact, emergency support, and whatever they need. And this is kind of the roadmap. So first of all, you just contact us, and we are going to review your application, and we are going to continue with the application form. And then that's the usual process: academic documents, interview, and so on. So just to wrap up this presentation, I try to make it short and fast for you. This is my contact data. You feel free to drop me any kind of question that you might have, discuss any kind of program you are thinking about. You can contact me here on WhatsApp, you can drop me an email, and I also encourage you to just have a quick look to our Instagram. You're going to see how our students are doing, what activities they do, and so on. So until here is my presentation.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Isaac, for the eye-opening presentation. Now I'm going to open the Q&A session to anyone that wants to ask a question to Mr. Isaac. You can go ahead and write it in the application or website chat. Now it looks here that we already have a couple of questions. First of all, a question from Andika Kianendra Darmawan. Good evening. I have a question. Does Campus Spain have any summer school programs, perhaps to provide us with more experience in Spain? Thank you in advance.
Yes, we have a summer program. We have a sports and a Spanish summer program. So the students go between 2 or 3 weeks, depending on what they want, to Spain, okay? And we take them all around the country. Meanwhile, they can practice some sports. Specifically, this year we had 3. We had football, okay, in cooperation with Celta Vigo, which is a team that plays in La Liga. And then we have tennis, okay, if you want to play tennis. And also we have golf, for those of you that like it. So the summer camp is a little bit of getting in touch with the country, with the language, sightseeing, okay, of course, going to the beach, do some sports, and just enjoy for 2 or 3 weeks Spanish summer, yes.
Okay, thank you for answering that question, Mr. Isaac. And now moving on to the next question from Tobias Luke Jizriel Hamdani. Good evening. What are the terms and conditions for an international student graduating in Spain to work in Spain? And also, what are the career prospects in Spain for the next decade?
Oh, this is a very good question because as what I mentioned to you, whenever you're going to Spain, you're going to the European Union, okay? So you're going to have a Schengen visa. And this applies to all the students. Whenever you finish any degree in an European university, you have up to 1 year, okay, to search for a job in all the Schengen area. So once you finish, you are free to search for a job in Spain, in Portugal, in France, in Germany. That's up to you, okay? And whenever you find a job, then your visa will change from a student visa to working visa, and then you are entitled to stay in Europe while you have this job. About the job prospects in the market in Europe, in Spain. So first of all, what I will encourage you is whenever you are in the university in third and fourth year, go to the job center of your faculty and check if they have some internships, okay? If they don't have internships that you like, just feel free to go to every company that you like. Just go there and tell them, hello, I'm my name, blah, blah, blah. I want to do internship here. So then you can sign an agreement between that company and the university. And why I say this? Because it's very important that you do internships, because all companies are very willing to stay with you after doing your internship if your development is good, and I'm sure it's going to be good, and it's going to give you some practical experience of the knowledge of your major, okay? So all job requirements at the end, they are going to ask you, like, do you have experience? And yes, you have, because you already been doing some internships, okay? So I encourage you very much to do internships of your major. And then, of course, like the related careers, all kind of computer science, engineering, all kind of new economy, like new energy systems and so on, are very much on demand. But as you know, like the trends are very, very changing fast. And what I recommend is just whatever you feel to study, just try to follow it, because that's going to be your profession and your career. So if you want to study arts, just go for arts. If you want to study economics, go for economics. I'm sure you're going to find the way, and all our students have a super interesting and amazing profile.
All right, thank you for the answer, Mr. Isaac. Moving on to the next question from Jesavan Gerard Vito Uisan. Good afternoon. I want to ask about the effect of student activity on the chances of graduation. Is the more active a student, the greater the chances of graduation? Then we can get additional points by participating in activities such as clubs and becoming committee members.
Okay, here what I need to tell you is that I think in Europe, the university system is a little bit different of what it is in Indonesia, okay? Whenever you arrive there, you're going to be overage, and everyone is going to treat you as an overage, which means that your main objective is go to class, okay? Participate in the activities, get the knowledge required to finish your bachelor and to get the level, but the evaluation is going to be stick to what is the subject of that you're going to be evaluated. So imagine like you are doing mathematics subject, first degree of engineering. So your marks are going to be depending on what the teacher required. The teacher can require assignments, could be just an exam, that's up to the teacher. But your evaluation is going to be on the subject of mathematics. Nothing outside the classroom is going to affect your marks in mathematics, okay? Because the system has to be fair. I hope I answered the question.
Okay, thank you for the answer again, Mr. Isaac. Moving on to the next question from Rafael Mahesa Utomo. Good evening. What are the recommendations of colleges that teach about renewable energy and biochemistry? Also, can we continue second degree in Spain after we have received the first degree in Indonesia?
Okay. So about recommendation of college, as I showed you on the map, we have 50 public universities all around the country. For those majors you are mentioning, is offering most of the faculties, okay, or most of the universities. To be honest with you, there is not much different in terms of university for bachelors and even for masters in one country. In my opinion, the quality in Europe is super high in all countries, so you're going to experience kind of the same knowledge in all of them, and especially inside one country is going to be good in all of them, okay? So I would not get that much obsessed about which university to study, because at the end you're going to get admission in one university that is going to give you the required knowledge of the bachelor itself.
All right, thank you for the answer, Mr. Isaac. Okay, moving on to the next question from Johannes Pandunathanugraha, which is, what are the academic prerequisites that are required before going to Spain?
Okay, the admission to the university in Spain is going to be depending on your marks, okay? And we have a good news and a bad news regarding that. The good news is that for most of the majors, we can get admission, okay? If it's not in one university, it's going to be in the other university, which what I mentioned before, all universities are going to be good. The bad news is that it also depends on what you want to study. For instance, we don't have problem for engineering, we don't have problem for business, design. But if you want to be a doctor, for instance, in Spain, okay, we have we have some universities that offer the bachelors. The bachelors are pretty affordable, and the competition to get admission is quite high, okay? So for these cases, we need to check your grades. As I mentioned before, we check every student individually. So we are going to see your profile, what you want to study, what you want to do, and we are going to advise you. And we are going to tell you, we can get admission. Maybe we need to do some exams, or maybe we cannot get admission, okay? But this is super transparent and honest with every student. So I encourage you, just contact us, tell us what you want to study, and we will review your case individually.
All right, thank you for the answer, Mr. Isaac. Now, I think this is going to be our last question from Albert Gunawan. He's asking about the cost of living. I think that's already answered in the presentation. He would like to ask if students can apply for a part-time job while being a student there.
Okay, about the cost of living, what I mentioned to you, just medium cities around 500 euros per month, big cities around 700, which is between 8 to 12 UTA per month, okay, depending on the city. About the part-time job, yes, you can work part-time with the visa, student visa in European countries. You can work, every country has kind of a different amount of time, but in this case, Spain allows you to work up to 30 hours per week. I always tell students, just relax, arrive there. After 1 month, we can start to search for a job. You can expect work. You can expect work in Starbucks, in a hotel, receptionist, and these kind of jobs. But I also tell the students, there is plenty of other options available. I'm sure your level of English is great. So you can work as tutor for children in English. I'm sure your level of maths is also great. Some of you are very good photographers. Some of you already know how to do web design. So I would encourage you, if you have these kind of abilities, maybe it's also good to search for like kind of freelance jobs where you're going to be the owner of your own agenda. And I believe it's going to help you much more for your CV and for your future career. But if you want to go to work in Starbucks, it's also possible up to 30 hours per week.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Isaac. It looks like we're nearing the end of our session. To Mr. Isaac, do you perhaps want to give a closing statement before the session ends?
Yes. So about the students, I tell you what I mentioned before. Do not worry that much about the major itself. Try to follow whatever your heart is telling you to study, because that's the most important thing. In the case that you want to study in Spain, I mentioned I'm here based in Jakarta permanently. Just feel free to drop me a WhatsApp, a message. We're going to review your case individually. And at the end, we're going to do the best in order for you to be successful in your career and in your studies. That's it for my case today.
All right, thank you, Mr. Isaac. I'm now going to close the session, but before that, I want to remind everyone here that if you want to learn more about Campus Spain, then you can check out the virtual booth in the EduFair application or EduFair website. There, you will find links that will give you more detailed information. This event is sponsored by Astra Insurance, PTA, Biznet, Premier Bintaro Hospital, Starbus, and Gabungan Pengusaha Kelapa Sawit Indonesia, and PT Kurnia Mitra Duta Sentosa, and our official media partners, Gramedia, Kompas.com, Sonora Jakarta, SCA Today, and Liputan 6.